If you're looking for a show that has formal interviews with few things you can relate to, then this show isn't for you. This is the On the Air podcast starring you, the OTAP Show. What does OTAP stand for? Well, we kind of just told you. These are informal interviews with people from all walks of life, talking about experiences you can relate to. Share in all of the laughs with real stories from real people. Find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Android users can listen on the free Podcast Republic app. Now, get ready for this week's episode. Here's the OTAP Show with your host, Corey.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Smooth Over, aka Real Ghost Fight.
Hey, this is Nikita, aka Jakari Star.
Yo, what's good? This is your boy Bob.
This is Kaya, aka Black Honey.
Hey folks, this is Corey, the host for Metal for Brains.
Hey girl, she's so pretty.
This is Greg, the infamous New Age Ike Turner.
Kicking it with the homie Corey, aka The Real Shitty. Now you're listening to On the Air podcast.
And you're listening to the On the Air podcast.
The On the Air podcast.
The On the Air podcast.
This is starring you.
Starring you.
Starring you.
This kind of started out as me playing with a new microphone. I got a new microphone a few weeks ago, and I still hadn't played with it. And it's like, yo, why haven't you tested your new microphone? And I don't know. It's been a number of reasons. You probably noticed that there hasn't been a show in quite some time. The last show I did was Lee Berrien, which you guys asked for, and so we got it out there, and it's the top downloaded show that I have to date. So you guys are awesome for that. But what started out as me testing a new microphone kind of just turned into my own little therapy session, and I just figured I'd just come on and I just kind of talk. So this is me, this is Corey, the host of the show, whatever. You guys know who I am on Twitter. New Twitter, by the way, at the OTAP Show. It's no longer the former name, but it's at the OTAP Show, because trying to do some things new with the show and take it to new heights. But why hasn't there been a show? A few weeks ago, I came to the realization, or came to terms with that I'm not having a really good year for a number of reasons, and I know we all have those times, and we all have those days, but this is sort of a new thing for me, because I've not ever been in a situation like this before. I've counseled other people on this type of thing. I've helped them work through their years, but never thought that I would find myself in something like this. So at the start of the year, like the very start, like New Year's Day, my life was changed. It was not the life that I was used to, and I don't want to really get into the details of it because there's another party involved, but and maybe at one point, maybe one day I'll do that, but right now is not the time. So we just kind of asking you respect the privacy on that one, but so that kind of that sort of started things. And I didn't really realize the effect that this is going to have throughout the year until, I was thinking about it the other day. And, the reason why some of the things are different, or the year's not going the way it was going in, previous years, is because, it's a totally different life for me right now. In February, the job that I had for the better part of 4 years, there were some changes, and so I lost that job. And I needed the time off, and I was excited for it. There were just some changes in the company and how it went, and so they were really gracious about it, and I knew it was coming just because, and I knew it was time, but so those things happened. They gave me a very good send off, so that was really cool. And then that's when I sort of started taking I got on the mega bus and I just started traveling up the East Coast, just going to different cities and places that I had never been before. And that was really good, and that was enriching. I'd never been to DC. I'd never gone to Philadelphia. I'd never been to New York, those places. So that sort of thing. And there were some small towns in between, but, it was really cool. And it was very therapeutic. And so, fast forward a few months. I don't know what the math. It could be a couple months. It could be 3. I don't know. But so there's the one thing that happened before, and then there's the job loss. And then probably the heaviest thing of them all, my brother died. My oldest brother. And he died. He was in a plane crash. My brother was a pilot. He'd been flying his own plane or private planes rather since I think 1994. And I'm not sure when he got his own plane. I'm gonna say within the last few years, he'd gotten his own plane, and he loved to fly it. I'd not gone out flying with him. Our dad has. I just hadn't it just hadn't worked out like that. I certainly would have, given the right time and place. I would have flown with him, and I really, really wish that I could have. But his plane crashed, and it was him, his wife, and they'd adopted 2 of his wife's children, or something like that. His wife's daughter's kids, or however it goes. But it was 4 people on that plane, and he died doing what it was that he loved doing. From the reports and what I understand and what I've seen is that he was flying, and I guess a storm came out of nowhere. He was a very careful person. Would not have even thought about an airplane had he felt like there was going to be a storm or something like that. But a storm came out of nowhere, and from what it sounds like from the reports is that lightning hit the plane and or hit an engine or something, and the plane split in the air. I'll spare you guys the more gruesome details, but you can kind of imagine from there. And so I got the call. Well, I'm sorry, I take that back. I didn't get a call. I'd gotten on Facebook. And for this alone is why I'm going to keep my Facebook. I'd gotten so annoyed with Facebook. Facebook has always been behind as opposed to Twitter, which is, current. And you have the people on Facebook that it's old jokes and it's a bunch of condescension on Facebook. And it was just, I wanted to get rid of it, but I've kept it. But I got a message from the coroner's office or someone in touch with the coroner's office, somewhere between them and the police or something like that. And they called and they said, hey, well, I'm sorry, why do I keep saying they call? They sent me a message. And I got the message that said, hey, we're looking for a family member of, and then my brother's name. And I said, yeah, I know who that is, my brother. And so I scroll up to kind of get an idea of who this is I'm talking to. I saw the word coroner, but I scrolled it back down because I know that is not what this call is about. So I tried to push that to the back of my mind. And So I say, yeah, that's my brother. He says, well, can you give me a call at this number? So he gave me the number, and I gave him a call. And he asked me a few questions, just to kind of confirm that I knew who it was, and some of it I think was stalling because he's got devastating news at this point that he has to deliver. And I don't wish that on anyone. Little did I know later I was going to have to deliver this news because he couldn't reach anyone else. He says, we've been trying to find family members and this is the word or the phrase that kind of, that triggered it for me. He what do you think he said? He said, we're looking for the next of kin. So I say, yeah, I know who that is, my brother. So he says, are you sitting down? I said, yeah, I'm sitting down. I think I was still standing up, but let's get on with what you have to say. And so after he's asking me questions, birthdays, was he married, and did he enjoy flying, and he says, he lets me know, and I don't know word for word what he said because I had already started like sort of wigging out, trying to keep it calm for the conversation. But he said, I'm very sorry to tell you, but there's been an accident. There's been a plane crash. And I immediately knew. And he says, and there were no survivors. And he said a bunch of things after that, but after the no survivors, I sort of lost it. I ended up having to call him back later because he had other important things to say. So the first thing I did was I called his daughter, my niece. And there's a story in that, but he couldn't reach anyone else, so I had to call him. I had to call my niece. The next person I called was my dad, because that was my dad's right hand man. They were buddies. We would tease him about our oldest brother being the favorite. We knew he was. We just didn't care. They did things together. It was his firstborn son, so there was a bond there, but we didn't really care. But I called him, couldn't reach him, and then I called my other sisters. They let my other brothers know, my nieces and nephews know. I still couldn't reach my dad, so I just jumped in the car because I knew that this wasn't something that I could just tell him over the phone. When I called him initially, it was going to be, ask where you are, stay where you are, and I'm going to come to you. And I got there, and my nephew, I think, had reached him before I did. But so that happened a few weeks ago. And had the funeral. It was tougher than I thought. I thought I'd done my fair share of crying, and I hadn't. And so that was really tough. And then there's the aftermath of the funeral. Dealing with his wife's side of the family, and it just doesn't sound like they're wanting to be all that cooperative. And it's just it's a really big mess for my family in general. I'd not seen this side of my family in general. It's just death kind of it does something to people, and I'd seen my family seeming like they're turning on each other, and at times I felt like I just want to back away from this and let you guys do whatever, because it was a whole lot, and I know that we all were going through a whole lot. So it's been tough. There have been other things I'm not going to really get into that I will say this. This year has been very tough. It's been humbling. I've had to face a lot of things about myself, and I've had to come to terms with a lot of things. Asking for help is one of those things. I needed people. And I will be the first one to tell you that, when it comes to helping out other people, I'm there. It's always been easier for me to help people than it is for me to receive help. But, God will do things and to put you in situations to realize that, he is the provider, and all you have to do to go to him. For those of you, well, I'm not going to preface it. If you don't believe in God, or you don't believe in the same God I believe in, that's your prerogative. But the God I serve is an awesome God, and I will praise him to the end, and that's just how that is. But that's kind of how it's been. So I have not put out a show. I've not wanted to record or do anything. And I love this show. And I've just not wanted to do it. I don't want to say that I've been in a depression. I'm just very sensitive with that. I can tell you how I've been behaving, and the experts out there, you guys can kind of decide what that is, or, what the symptoms of that are. But I've not wanted to do much of anything that I normally would have enjoyed doing. I'm going to get back to doing shows pretty soon to kind of help occupy my time and my mind. I've just started focusing more on the website right now, otapshow.com. There's a lot of new content. I went and revamped the site to sort of kind of keep myself busy. I think it's a cleaner look. Trying to get sponsors. I don't know if I can call Amazon a sponsor or an affiliate, but there's a link at the top of the page, a short banner that if you're shopping through Amazon and you click that and you buy something through it, I'll get some kind of a kickback or something like that to help the show. So that's, that'd be really cool if you did that. I've started reviewing restaurants on the site. I put because I love to travel, so I created a travel section. I love technology, so I've created a technology section. I reviewed movies, or a movie at this point. But it's a lot of good things that are going on with the website, otapshow.com, that I want you guys to check out. I've created the podcast section on the site, which I think is a cleaner look than the way it was before, and it gives you guys one place that you can go and click and press play, if you're not doing it through an app or whatever, but it'll always be there for you guys to see. So that's kind of what I've been doing to occupy my time, and to kind of just sort of cope, because it's been a very, very tough year. I am exhausted. I'm not one of those people that are like, hey, it's been a bad year and I can't wait for this year to be over. That's not where I am. I don't want the year to be over. I want to salvage what's left and have a really, really great year. The rest of the year, I want it to be as good as it can be. And it's just, there are times when I've been in dark places this year, and it's, I don't know, you wonder if there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. I try to look at next year, like, okay, where I am now, I'm not going to be there next year. I want to be somewhere better, or, mentally or what have you. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot on me, my family, friends. There are parts of me that still struggling with. I'm pretty sure at this point I've lost a good friend, and maybe things could be salvaged there. I believe she thinks that I did her wrong, and if I was in her shoes, I probably would think that I did her wrong, or that I abandoned her or something like that, and that's just not the case. That's just not the case. And you would think, Corey, why don't you call her or text her and talk to her and see what's up? And it's pride. I don't want to give a person the opportunity to tell me to get the fuck out of here. And if that's how she feels, then, that's just how she feels. But I think I've been through too much at this point to be able to deal with that. So I'll handle that when I can. But I do miss her a lot. Her friendship means the world to me. I love her. I love her family. It's just, I don't know. When things like my dreams have become even more intense, and I know the Lord is pushing me to have this conversation with her, because just about every night the Lord makes me have this conversation in my dreams. Like I have almost the same reoccurring dream about this person, and working out, our friendship. People, I've had close friends tell me, hey, you guys are close, you need to call her, or you need to text her. And I know that if it happens, it's going to be on me, because I know that she's not going to do that, because I understand her position. I think some things got misinterpreted. I think one of an action on my part, because I'm not going to say I'm innocent in the matter. I just think that it was seen the wrong way, and there were misinterpretations on both parts. But that's another situation that I've not been in. But if it takes me owning up to it and apologizing and doing what I have to, which I was totally against at first, because I just didn't want to give them that. But after the death of my brother, I really just started seeing things differently. These are petty squabbles. There's so much more to life than that, than these petty squabbles. If something were to happen to her or her family, none of that shit would matter. And if she feels the same way I feel about her, if something happened to me, none of this stuff would matter. And I don't want to be in a situation where, something happens to anyone on anyone's part, and I'm like, man, I never just had that chance to really explain myself or anything like that. So I don't know. I'll just have to keep you guys posted on that and how that goes, and let you guys know. But it's a lot. It's a lot, and I miss her dearly. I do. Her friendship always meant the world to me, and given how I believe she thinks things happen or what happened, I may not ever have her trust again, and so be it. But if anything, I want to have a clear conscience about the matter. A friend of mine not long ago, I was talking about this same thing, and she said to me, I believe you carry your stress in your heart. And anybody listen to any of my, the past shows, or even my episode where, I was interviewed, I talked about, I have congestive heart failure. It's caused due to high blood pressure. I can get the blood pressure under control. I can get that under control. And so a lot of that, and I think she's right, a lot of the stresses that I carry, I believe I carry it in my heart, which is not a good thing at all. I think we all carry our stresses different ways. My problem is I'm the last person to know when I'm stressed. And but that's something that I'll work on. But that's kind of what it is. Right now, in terms of guests on the show, I have 2 episodes that are recorded months ago that I haven't put out yet. One, because I just thought she just wasn't ready. I actually talked to her today. And the other one, you guys know, goodness, you guys that follow me on Twitter, you guys probably follow her as well. And I'm going to put it out there because we recorded an episode and she got cold feet and she doesn't want the episode to go out yet. Give me a second, because hold on one moment. Let me pull this up. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. So you guys follow me. So you guys probably follow her. Her name is Kelly. We call her Kels. She loves teeth. She's a dental hygienist. Her Twitter is @breadlove. That's @BREDLOVE. Here's what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to remind her that she has an episode on the OTAP Show and that she's not giving me the okay to put it out yet because she got cold feet. You guys want to hear this interview that I did with her. It is an awesome interview. Tell her that you want to hear the interview too, so that she can get back with me and we can go ahead and put it out. Because I'm not going to, she's a good friend. And just like I would do with anybody, I'm not going to put the episode out before someone feels comfortable. She felt like she was rambling during the entire time, and she wasn't. We actually talked about doing a part 2, and I want to do it with her daughters. But we gotta put the part 1 out first. So hopefully we can get that out. But what I was going to say is that, I have a clean slate as far as guests is concerned. So if you guys want to be a guest, or if you know someone that you think would be a good guest for the show, that you want me to interview on the show, let me know. Send me an email at Corey@otapshow.com. I will respond. I haven't been all that responsive this year, and that's just because some of the things that's been going on. But send me an email, Corey@otapshow.com, or you can go on the website and fill out the contact form, and it'll get to me. But shows will be back soon, but just kind of want to give you guys an idea of what's been going on and where the show has been and just things that are going on with me. I think this is the longest that I've talked to you guys, just me and you. Like this was pretty cool. I might, and I feel better. This was therapeutic. I may actually, do this a little more often if you guys thought this was dope. But for those of you that tuned in, I appreciate it. Follow the show on Twitter @TheOTAP Show. That's @TheOTAP Show. You can listen to the show on otapshow.com, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music. We're on iHeartRadio right now. You can find the show on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. If you want a visual up, well, it's not much of a video, but it's on YouTube. You can look at the logo, that sort of thing. Wherever you find podcasts is where you will find the OTAP Show. Until next time, this is Corey. Thanks for listening. Peace.